I think breathing pattern disorders, they can develop things like anxiety and stress, because if you're always kind of breathless, or you're always experiencing breathlessness when you're out and about, it's not the greatest place to be, going, oh, I've got to walk up some stairs now, and I'm it might kind of ruin my day. It might kind of totally wipe me out. So there's that kind of anxiety stress issue with it. I think having a better breathing pattern reduces that anxiety and stress. From an exercise point of view, we know that actually breathing in an inefficient way increases the cost of your it increases the cost of how much energy you put into your breathing. So if you're thinking about kind of high intensity exercise, if you're an efficient breather, we estimate about 12% of your energy consumption goes into your breathing. Whereas if you're an inefficient breather, about 18% of your total energy cost goes into your breathing. So if you're trying to exercise and trying to, push your body as hard as you can, you probably want to be trying to put as little energy into your breathing as you can, because obviously you want most of the energy to be going into, the muscles that are pushing you forwards or pushing you to do what you want to do. So there is that angle of the more efficient we can make the breath, then the more energy can be used elsewhere. And the other flip side of that as well is we know that if the respiratory muscles are overworked, they can start to become fatigued. But they probably what's more important is before they get to that point, what happens is that if they start to become overworked for the activity you're doing, they send feedback to your brain, and your brain kind of processes it. And your brain goes, you know what, we can't keep exercising like this, because your respiratory muscles are a key thing to us staying alive. So to basically protect your respiratory system, what we're going to do is we're going to basically slow you down. And so what the brain then does is it stops sending blood, or as much blood, to the muscles that are working. And that means they have to go anaerobic. And once they go anaerobic, they're going to fatigue quickly, and you're going to slow down. And so basically having a poor breathing pattern during exercise it's called the, what's it called? The respiratory muscle mechanoreflex. So it's a respiratory mechanoreflex. Now it happens to everyone at a given point, but if you've got an efficient breathing pattern, it rarely happens at all. Whereas if you've got an inefficient breathing pattern, it'll happen quite frequently at at exercise intensities that you think you probably should be able to do without kind of feeling early onset of fatigue and having to back off the intensity that you're working at. And so there's lots of different reasons why an individual might want to kind of improve or have an efficient breathing pattern. So as I said, probably actually the other one as well, probably the other one for athletes, is a lot of these athletes we work with, going back to that postural thing, will continue to complain of having tight shoulders and tight backs. And they'll constantly go back to their physio because they're having their back released or their shoulders kind of worked on. And a lot of that is caused from their part of their posture control, but a poor breathing pattern. So if you're constantly having to shift your shoulders up to breathe, you're overworking these muscles here that aren't really designed to do that. And that's why they keep getting tight. And so an improved breathing pattern will reduce the stress that you put on those larger muscles like your deltoids and your shoulders and things that might be getting tight because you're overusing them to breathe. And therefore, if you improve the postural control, improve where you're getting that breathing pattern from, decrease the activation in your muscles in your shoulders and in your back, that tightness starts to go away, and you don't need to keep going back to the physio. So there's loads of different kind of reasons that we got. I think we've only got an hour for the podcast, so I won't keep talking about them.